It is a special night here at Alumni Gym. A senior class that played an integral role in hanging the state championship banner for St. Joe plays one of its final games and takes bows. But if they really want to go out in style, there would be no better way than a win over their arch rival. You are looking live at Alumni Gym, where tonight it is the 94th renewal of the game we call the Holy War. The Marian Knights and the St. Joe Huskies do battle on this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. And welcome inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for the Ferret Custom Roll Forming pregame show. That's my business and broadcast partner, Angelo de Carlo. The Hall of Famer, Bo Hunt's roaming the sidelines, and I'm Chuck Freeby. So happy that you have joined us for a Friday night, and a Friday night really unlike any other in the area here on Sports Michiana. The Marian Knights, I would argue, may be the most improved team in the season from beginning of the year to now. They are 11-6. They have played a highly competitive schedule, and Rob Berger's team is really starting to hit its stride in 2026.
Brandon Foster's really picked up his game in a big way. They know what they got to do. They got to feed the big man inside of Prescott Horvath. Rob Berger is one of the very best in a rivalry game. His record against St. Joe is unmatched, 21-7. So if anyone knows how to dial up an upset, it's Rob Berger.
And nobody appreciates the atmosphere around this game more than the veteran Marian coach.
Yeah, and I wish that all of them were like this. And every St. Joe coach, I think all 10 that I probably coached against over that time, we always say the same thing. Why? These kids are going to have a great time tonight. Why can't they do that with other teams? You know, why can't the student body get involved with other games? You know, why is it only this one? But, hey, you know, we got this one night, you know, and it's always fun. And win, lose, or draw, it's a great environment that the kids will always remember.
Meanwhile, for St. Joseph, they are the defending state champs in Class 3A. They've now moved up to 4A. They are playing a schedule that corresponds to that. But when you consider their most recent wins have been over Riley, Mount Carmel of Illinois, and Penn, they seem up to the task.
Well, and now they're in the driver's seat to do something they weren't able to do last year and win the Northern Indiana Conference. So that's something they want to do. They have a lot of seniors on this squad. Of course, they're led by a junior in Elijah King, who won't actually start tonight because it is senior night, but I'm sure we'll see him pretty early. But this is a team that needs to be battle-tested, needs to face adversity. They faced it against Penn on Tuesday. They know they'll probably face it again tonight in a rivalry game.
Eric Gaff believes his 2026 team can be special. Says they're not there yet, so I had to ask him, what do you mean by special?
If you're a special team, you have the ability to hang a banner. Doesn't guarantee you a banner, but it gives you the chance of one. And I don't think we've had 32 minutes of special yet, but if we can do that, that starts putting us in a position where maybe we can put a banner up.
I'll tell you what is special is the atmosphere here, and Bo Hunt is on the sidelines. You well know, my friend, we cover Westview and Fairfield. That's another great rivalry. But I'll tell you, this one, it is electric in this gym tonight.
Well, it sure is. And nothing beats a Friday night of high school basketball when the gyms are packed like this. We talked to both coaches back when they played. Back when I played, at about the same time. The gyms were packed on a Friday night, the atmosphere. And what does that do to the players? I'm telling you, it brings excitement to the players. It brings energy to the players. When the fans get up and they're cheering, especially the student section, it just brings so much more energy to you as a player. You just feel it throughout your body. It's going to be a hyped atmosphere tonight. Both these teams are going to be ready to go, guys.
And by the way, those student sections that you see, they were that full by halftime of the JV game. This place has been rocking for a while. We're glad you're with us. We've got a lot to talk about here on the Ferret Custom Roll Forming pregame show. Up next, it's our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. A very special feature this week. Don't go away. Much more to come on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. The Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Tony Letcher Health Markets, Tire Rack, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Big C Lumber, Ferret Custom Roll Forming, McInnes Realty, Patrick, Reliance, the Lulliard Insurance Agency, the St. Joseph County Police Department, Babsco, Tom's Car Care Center, and these great sponsors.
Shopping for tires used to make me want to blow a gasket. That was before I went to TireRack.com.
Tire Rack made it easy to find great tires at a great price. 2 years of free road hazard protection. Sealed the deal.
Tire Rack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose a mobile installer. Check this out. A technician brought my new tires right to the house. He's installing them now. All set. Thanks. When it's time for new tires, trust the experts. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Ready to be part of our winning team? The St. Joseph County Police Department is hiring, and we are looking for people of all ages who want to make a difference. With a starting salary of $52,000 plus full benefits, including medical, dental, vision, and vacation, you are in control of your future. So whether you're just entering the game or looking for a new position, now is the time to get off the sideline. Learn more today at sjcpd.org.
Experience the summer in style with decking from Big C Lumber. From the professional to the do-it-yourselfer, Big C will assist you through the entire deck planning process. Big C's selection of composite and PVC decking material offers durability and low maintenance, all while maintaining the look and feel of real wood. Our free delivery service ensures more of your budget is allocated toward your project. Revitalize your outdoor living space with Big C Lumber.
Let's be honest, shopping for window treatments can be a real pain in the glass. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, the options are endless. Avoid expensive mistakes and return shipping with online retailers. Call the local team at Quality Window Treatments. Their entirely local process makes choosing the right look for your space easy. They bring the showroom to you during your in-person consultation. And with hands-off local installation, you never make a measurement. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com to book your free consultation and see your space in a whole new light.
Now's the perfect time to lock in speed and savings from Surf Internet. Get fast fiber internet with free professional installation, starting at just $30 per month with AutoPay. Plus, lock in your low price for life with no contracts. Visit surfinternet.com today.
Now's the time to get fiber fast internet as low as $30 per month with AutoPay and free professional installation. Lock in speed and savings from Surf Internet. Enjoy fast fiber internet, no contracts, and a price lock for life. Visit surfinternet.com.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Michiana area? Call McInnes Realty, Michiana's fastest growing real estate company where service comes first, built on knowledge, care, and community. Through our Homes for Heroes program, we proudly give back to those who serve. Firefighters, law enforcement, EMTs, military, teachers, and healthcare workers, past or present, qualify for hero rewards when they buy or sell with us. Call McInnes Realty today at 574-271-3440.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week is brought to you by Tony Letcher with Health Markets, the right policy at the right price. And it's time now for our Tony Letcher Health Markets Student Athletes of the Week. And we have a unique Student Athlete of the Week segment this week because we have a pair of cousins with us here tonight. KJ Avery from St. Joe and Prescott Horvath from Marian. They're both seniors. We'll start with Prescott, who's a member of the basketball team, football team, Mayor's Youth Council, has a 4.25 GPA. What's it like facing your cousin here tonight?
You know, it's a great game. He went to Valpo last year, and I heard he was transferring, and, there was a good chance he was looking at Marian for a little while, and then, I heard he was coming to St. Joe, which was a little disappointing, but, I realized then, I'm going to get to play him in, the biggest game of our year, so it's an exciting moment. It's an exciting moment.
Over 40-plus members of your family will be here, KJ, the extended family. You're a senior here at St. Joe. What's it going to be like playing in front of so many family members?
It's a good feeling. It's pretty awesome being able to play in front of them, so it'll be fun.
Prescott mentioned your transfer from Valpo. Tonight is also your senior night. Yeah. How has St. Joe made you feel at home?
It's been awesome. The community, my teammates, the coaches, it's been a great experience out here.
Prescott, you're going to go to IU to play football as a preferred walk-on. Take us through the excitement you have for this opportunity to go play for the defending national champions.
Yes, sir. So obviously, of course, defending national champions. So it's obviously a great opportunity. I'm going to go there, getting ready to work my tail off when I get there. And it's just being able to, get to a staff like that, have a place like that with teammates like that, I know I'm going to be able to work my tail off and get as good as I can there.
As we talked about, a lot of family members that have come through this Holy War game, but you're a media family. You're the youngest, the final Holy War. What's tonight mean to you?
It means so much. I've been coming to this game my whole life, ever since I was a kid. I remember being at all the St. Joe football games, all the Marian football games, and the basketball games. So, I've been playing it the past few years, but this one has a special place in my heart. It being my last, I'm going to make the most of it tonight.
And meanwhile, KJ, it's your first Holy War. You've heard about this game for all your life. What's it going to be like to finally participate in it?
It's going to be something different, that's for sure. Especially coming from Valpo, we didn't really have a big rivalry like this, so it's something new and something fresh to be able to be part of.
KJ Avery, Prescott Horvath. All right, boys, you can hug it out. Give yourself some love. We've got your opening tip-off and your starting lineups right after this on Sports Michiana's Game of the Week. The Holy War is next.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
When contractors and OEMs need quality electrical products at the best prices, they look to Babsco Supply. We strive to supply all the electrical products you need for residential, light commercial, and OEM electrical components. We have the knowledge, dedication to customer service, and extensive inventory to ensure your electrical projects are completed successfully. We are employee-owned, which means all of our employees are owners, so you know we care. With locations in Elkhart and Warsaw, Babsco Supply is working together to serve you better. Learn more at babsco.com.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
You don't always see the backbone of American products. You feel it. Ferret is where smart work meets hard work. We serve the USA by manufacturing purpose-built metal components that solve the problems others walk past. And we put in the work that makes fourth and long feel like first and goal. Calling all engineers and makers, past, present, and future. Your next career move begins at Ferret.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Ferret Custom Roll Forming. We form value. Here is our national anthem. The St. Joe Pep Band with our national anthem before a jam-packed alumni gym. It's time for the starting lineups on the Farrah Custom Home Forming pregame show. Here's Angelo DiCarlo.
All right, the Marian starters brought to you by Peter Horvath Law. Brandon Foster, a 5'11 senior guard, 5.7 points per game, 4.8 assists per game. Terrence Lane, a 5'6 junior guard, 4.1 points per game. Dre Wells, a 5'11 junior guard, 19 points per game. Prescott Horvath, the big man in the middle, 6'9 senior forward, 18.4 points per game. And Jonah McGuire, a 6'1 junior guard, 3 points per game. Michelle and Peter Horvath are huge supporters of Marian High School. Their youngest, Prescott, is playing in his last Holy War basketball game tonight. As years pass, it's vitally important to set your future and the future of your kids up. Peter is a local lawyer specializing in estate planning. Prepare your family's future by contacting Peter Horvath Law.
Let's check in on what the teams are wearing, brought to us by It's Tops in Mishawaka. Marian in the royal blue with the silver numbers and the white and silver trim. And when they turn on the lights at Alumni Gym, you'll see St. Joe is wearing white with a Carolina blue numbers and Carolina blue and black Argyle.
The St. Joe starters brought to you by St. Joseph High School. They're going to start all seniors here tonight because it's senior night. LeBrain Booker, a 5'9 senior. Braylon White, a 6'2 senior, averaging 8 points per game. And Nick Shrewsbury, a 6'5 senior guard, 17.3 points per game. KJ Avery, a 6'3 senior guard, averaging 5.6 points per game. And Ryder Place, a 5'11 senior guard, 5 points per game. Again, all senior starters. They mentioned Elijah King. Elijah will be coming off the bench. He averages 20 points per game. And those starters brought to you by St. Joseph High School.
Keys to win are brought to us by the Lillard Insurance Agency. Marian wants to focus on its transition defense, shadow the shooters, and handle the St. Joe press. For St. Joe, they've got to move the ball to play at the pace they want to, protect the paint against the big fella Horvath, and communicate on defense. Our series history brought to us by OMC. This is the 94th meeting. St. Joe leads at 54-39, the first meeting back in 67. St. Joe won last year in the sectional 69-47. Just about ready for the Babsco opening tip-off. Craig Hershey going to toss it up between Nick Shrewsbury and Prescott Horvath. St. Joe wins the opening tip. Huskies are 15-4 on the year, 5-0 in the NIC. Their best wins coming against Riley, Penn, and Mount Carmel. Their 4 losses all to powerful teams. Alley-oop, Shrewsbury got too far underneath, couldn't handle it. And the ball comes back to the Marian Knights, 11-6 on the year, 3-2 in the NIC. That's Dre Wells from the wing. That won't go. Nick Shrewsbury with the rebound, and here come the Huskies on the run. That's Ryder Place, the point guard. Nick Shrewsbury against the 2-3 zone of the Marian Knights. Braylon White was looking for the cutting Booker. Instead, Shrewsbury for 3. It is sponsored by KZ Power Solutions or K2 Power Solutions. And just like that, it is a 3-0 lead. Marion's best win coming against Huntington North earlier this year. Their worst loss, and I put worst in quotation marks, because they lost to Fort Wayne, who is 11-8, but it's their worst loss because they had a big lead in that game. Horvath loses the ball to Booker on the steal. Avery tried to leave it off for White. It's intercepted by Foster. Foster all the way, and it's knocked out of bounds by St. Joe.
Patients trust OSMC because they deliver more than treatment. They provide care that's accessible, high quality, and transparent. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit OSMC.com or their Ortho Care Walk-in Clinic in Granger off University Drive.
Terrence Lane on the outside for Marian. Shovels it under to Horvath, back outside to Wells. The transfer from Niles hits the shot. Dre Wells with his first basket. He averages 19 a game. Place kept that one from going to the Marian bench. Shrewsbury from way downtown. It is sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. 6-2 Huskies.
It is, I want to say standing room only, but it's beyond standing room only here tonight. What an atmosphere here at Alumni Gym.
They officially declared it a sellout before the tip. Foster outside. Knocked away, stolen by Place. Shrewsbury.
Timeout on the court. It's brought to you by Frick's Dairy Queen. We'll take a timeout. Be back after this on Sports Michiana.
My name's Elizabeth, and I've been a member of the Notre Dame Credit Union for about 37 years. I had been driving a Prius, and I liked the Prius. But unfortunately, I live on a hill, and when it snows, I had a problem. So I called the credit union, told them I needed a new car. We did everything over the phone and the internet, picked up the car, and it was all done in less than a week. I would recommend the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union without question.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week is brought to you by Tire Rack. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And discover the Marian difference. Marian High School challenges students to spiritual and moral growth, academic and physical excellence, and social maturity. Visit marianhs.org or contact the Marian Admissions Office to schedule your next visit. 8-2, St. Joe out to the early lead thanks to a pair of three-pointers for the Huskies here in the first quarter of the 94th edition of the Holy War. Brandon Foster bringing the ball up the floor. And now a steal by Ryder Place, one of the specialties he provides. He drives inside, has it swatted away by Foster, and the ball goes out of bounds. K2 Power Solutions in South Bend is proud to help power tonight's broadcast, led by a highly skilled team of diverse professionals. K2 Power Solutions is Michiana's new home for your industrial and commercial electric needs. Go St. Joe. Terrence Lane, and now Brandon Foster. It's so wild, Chuck's lost his voice.
Well, hopefully it's back. A little bit of rest there. Thank you for picking up the slack. Here's Brandon Foster for three. That won't go. And the rebound comes down to Peyton Miamba, who checked into the game during the timeout. Miamba for three, ring it up. It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions, 11-2 in favor of St. Joe. And a steal by Place. Elijah King in the game now for St. Joe. He wears number 10.
Problem for Marian is when you're in that 2-3 zone, St. Joe can exploit it, and now they go inside, and King gets the bucket, and suddenly it's an 11-point St. Joe lead.
This was the fear of Rob Berger, is that St. Joe would be able to get their three-point shooting going, and that's really what sparked this.
Before the game, we featured our Student Athletes of the Week presented by Tony Letcher. Tony, a lifelong resident of Michiana and a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you need insurance, Tony's your guy. Google Tony Letcher Health Markets to connect.
Foul is called here on KJ Avery. That'll be his first.
St. Joseph High School provides an exceptional award-winning Catholic education that prepares students to serve God, the church, and the world. With the recent expansion of school choice, tuition is more affordable than ever. Join the pack and become a Husky by visiting stjoehigh.com.
Marian against the full court pressure. Cross court it comes to Foster. And he is fouled by Place. First on Ryder.
Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools is proud of St. Joseph and Marian High Schools and the opportunities they provide families in developing their children spiritually and academically. The Catholic Schools Office also thanks families for choosing Catholic schools. Enrollment is up across the diocese with more than 14,000 students served. And thank you to the Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic Schools Office for sponsoring tonight's first quarter.
Gray Wells on the outside for Marian, guarded by Elijah King. And it's a 5-second count thanks to the defense by King. King did a great job the other night bodying up against Caleb Kuhlman of Penn, and you see it again right there.
J-Mill Packaging in Mishawaka is always rooting for Marian. Founded in 1973, J-Mill Packaging was one of the nation's leading box and packaging manufacturers. If you need custom packages, visit boxpackaging.com.
King over Wells. That's short. And the rebound to Marian. Wells on the run. Knights down 11. Wells fell down driving, but he was shoved from behind by King, and that'll be the first on Elijah.
Give a shout out to Peyton Miamba, who's done a nice job so far here tonight covering Prescott Horvath inside. Just take a look at the replay. Brought to you by Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka. Your smile and comfort come first. From routine cleanings to advanced dental care, you'll find compassionate dentistry in a modern, welcoming office. Now welcoming new patients, visit Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka, where your smile plays at a higher level.
Nice down, low pass, but Foster missed the layup, and here comes Braylon White the other way. He had 16 the other night in the win over Penn. Miamba misfires on a three. Wells the rebound, and Marian in a hurry. Three on the way for Eric Unwin. And it's sponsored by J-Mill Packaging. Unwin, who hit 4 of those in the loss to Riley this year.
8-point lead. Thank you to Tire Rack, the scoreboard sponsor for the Sports Michiana Game of the Week. When it's time for new tires, go to TireRack.com. They're easy to use shopping tools. Will guide you to the right tires, shipped fast and free, and backed by free road hazard protection. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Horvath to inbound against the full court pressure. And Horvath, pretty nice safety valve to have in the middle of that press. Wells from way downtown Bend. It's sponsored by J-Mill Packaging.
That was a beyond NBA 3 right there.
He hit that from Rocco's.
Thank you to Rocco's. Great job with our pizza here tonight. Always great to get the Julia salad and pizza from our friends Linda and Warren up at Rocco's. Do a fabulous job, and we thank them right up the street here from St. Joe High.
King short on the three. The loose ball picked up by Unwin. Unwin leaves it off for Wells. He's a dangerous shooter and can get hot in a hurry. Well defended that time, but Unwin is wide open for three. Too strong. Gets the rebound, drives, lays it in. Eric Unwin, a senior, only averages 3 points a game off the bench, already has 5. Knights back within 3.
And that's an 8-0 run for Marian. It was 13-2 St. Joe. 8-0 run now for the Knights as they get back into this game.
Foul is called on Brandon Foster. That's his first.
Ryder Place going to come out of the game. Locally owned, going back 4 generations. Place Homes in South Bend has a team of players, architects, and designers ready to work for you on building your dream home. Visit placehomes.net for more information. Place Homes, building homes, not houses. Go St. Joe.
Shrewsbury with 8 of the Huskies' 13 so far. Gets it back on a give and go, and a blocking foul is called on Marian. Shrewsbury will go to the line for free throw, sponsored by Place Homes.
Want to help your team look great? It's Tops can help. They are the official outfitter for a number of local schools and even Sports Michiana, and they do a lot more than just clothes. Learn more at itstops.net.
That is the second foul on Brandon Foster. That presents Rob Berger with a bit of a ball handling problem as Shrewsbury hits the free throw. Nick is a 77% foul shooter, committed to play for his father, Micah, at the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, having Foster now going to the bench is a definite problem for Marian. He's been so improved this year. He's 30 assists away from becoming the single-season assist record holder at Marian as he looks to chase down Declan Sullivan.
Shrewsbury now with 10 points, his 18th game in double figures this season. Lob inside to Horvath. That's easy money.
That's the play Marian needs. They got to get the ball inside to the big man. That's the advantage Marian has.
Miamba wasted little time hoisting a three, but he missed it. And Wells has the Knights in position where a three-pointer would tie it. Unwin, now Lane.
Now you got the two cousins guarding each other. KJ Avery preventing Horvath from getting the ball inside.
Or at least was for a while. Now it's Horvath, went right off his hands and out of bounds.
It's February, and that means the Red Velvet Blizzard is back at Dairy Queen. Or you can get 2 cupcakes for $6 or the flamethrower chicken strips. Get yours tonight at Frick's Dairy Queen on South Michigan Street in South Bend.
Avery lost the ball. Here comes Terrence Lane all the way. Leaves it off. And McGuire hits the layup. Ryan McGuire off the bench, a 6'4 senior, brings Marian back within one. 3 on the way from Avery. That's off the mark. Rebound, though, Miamba. Outside Shrewsbury. He's short, but gets his own carom. Puts it right back up. Too strong that time. How about one more time for Shrewsbury? 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Trifecta. You give him a trifecta, he's going to make one of them.
It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. Waning seconds of period number 1. Wells from the baseline scores. Dre Wells with 7 in the quarter. What an electric pace here at Alumni Gym in South Bend. St. Joe had a big lead, lost it. I lost my voice, got it back. Marian back in the game, 18-16 after 1 on Sports Michiana.
For over 100 years, experience and inspiration have been the foundation of Big C Lumber. I'm Mark Young. Deciding on the perfect cabinetry for your home can be overwhelming. It's best to depend on our consultants with decades of experience at Big C Lumber. Your needs and wishes will be matched with our guidance in the creation of new spaces. We call this customer-inspired design, representing your personality, your style. Visit Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless.
Some say hustle and heart don't mix. But at Patrick, we prove otherwise every day. We're bold in our ambition and grounded in respect. Here, leadership is a mindset and every voice matters. Built on integrity, fueled by collaboration, and united by purpose, we're stronger together. This is Patrick. We are better together.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Reliance, uniquely crafted to fit your lifestyle. Quickly to Bo Hundt, your thoughts on that first 8 minutes?
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. St. Joe got out that early lead, but Marian, they started off the season really slow. They had some transfers in, they had some new guys in new positions, and they're really starting to gel. St. Joe, the same thing. Really starting to gel here late in the season. Very important for both these teams, guys.
Dre Wells, a little too strong. Horvath the rebound.
Man, they are all over him.
But they get it down low to the big fella with good hands, and we're tied at 18.
Horvath had 3 different players, highly skilled players surrounding him. They still were able to get it into him, and he was able to make the bucket. Elijah King, by the way, in the game now for St. Joe.
And driving to the hoop, and a foul is called, I think, on the floor. This one's going to be on Eric Unwin. That's his second quarter tonight, being brought to us by the St. Joe County Police Department. As you take a look at the contact, with King trying to split the defense.
Yeah, King not starting here tonight because of senior night. Duke is playing a little bit so far, has 2 points here tonight, but obviously he is a huge difference maker.
He tried to go over Horvath, and Prescott would not have it.
Well, that's a block Prescott's hoping to do in the next few years on the offensive line for IU.
Here's Lane for 3. The iron unkind, and King with the rebound for St. Joe. And Elijah tried to go by Coastal, missed the 3, but Shrewsbury with the up and under on the rebound. And Nick Shrewsbury with 15 of St. Joe's 20 in the first half.
He's been incredible to start this game, has been electric in every aspect. 3-pointers inside, but rebounding has been the clutch thing for Shrewsbury, allowing himself to have second chance opportunities. Wells
went motoring down the lane but couldn't score. Here comes Avery the other way for St. Joe. He'll pull up over Unwin and hit. First basket of the night for the Valpo transfer, KJ Avery.
Marian would like to slow it down. The problem is St. Joe won't let you. With the press they have, you cannot slow the ball down.
Here's the other thing, and Rob Berger told his team this at practice the other night. Marian's a very good offensive team when they move the ball around, and they've been doing a pretty good job of that. This is really the first possession where the ball is kind of stuck in people's hands for a while. Unwin thought about pulling the trigger. Booker was right in his grill. Ryan McGuire, now Wells guarded by King. Horvath. Big fella will pull the trigger outside, but instead Unwin from the volleyball line. And it's sponsored by J-Mill Packaging. Eric Unwin with 8 to lead the Knights.
Carlton has been in business in South Bend for more than 50 years and are the country's leading provider of financial calculation software. While they serve clients throughout the country, Carlton believes in giving back here at home, including supporting St. Joe, where 3 generations of Ruskowskis have graduated. Go Huskies.
Ryan McGuire called for the foul there. That'll be his first, the second on the Knights in the second quarter. Ryder Place checks back in for St. Joe.
Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger, family-focused practice that treats newborns to professional athletes and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, digital x-ray diagnostics, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic to learn more.
Niamba forced that shot. Now Marian with a chance to take the lead. Here's Unwin. It's short. Shrewsbury, 1 on 3. Does not matter. Missed the first time, but got his own rebound. Offensive boards have been key for St. Joe, but here's Unwin and Marian with the lead.
I mean, it's early, and a lot's going to happen in this game, but that's an early contender, the Big C Lumber big play of the game. He read that like a safety and picked that ball off and took it the other direction.
King from the baseline can't hit out of bounds. That'll go off Horvath.
A family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912, Christensen Furniture is located on McKinley in Mishawaka. Customer service is their hallmark. They make sure you make the right choice by offering free design service at your home or in the store. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
You say he read it like a safety. There's a former Marian safety sitting behind us tonight in Joe Ernst.
Chuck's son-in-law, by the way.
Oh, by the way, yes, that too. Here's another steal by Marian. Wells goes in, and Shrewsbury knocks it away, but they're going to call a foul on Nick, and that'll send Dre Wells to the line for free throw sponsored by Marian High School.
As you
get another look.
Brought to you by Springer Dental Care. I wasn't sure at first if they were calling the goaltending, and instead they called the foul.
So Dre Wells, a 72% foul shooter, transfer from Niles, where he was an all-conference point guard last year, goes to the stripe.
All right, we said these free throws brought to you by Marian High School. Did you know that Marian students can take college-level courses throughout their 4 years of high school? Marian's dual credit program allows students to earn college credit at no additional cost. Visit marianhs.org or contact the admissions office to learn more about how Marian helps students get ahead for college.
Wells now with 8. Marian with a 2-point lead.
I go back to what Bo said pregame about the atmosphere and the difference that can make in a game. And while, yes, there have been big games St. Joe has played in, and a big bucket there by Braylon White, they haven't played in an atmosphere quite like this. The Penn game was probably big too, but this is a different level of pitch.
Meanwhile, look at the drive by Wells. He couldn't hit it, but Unwin with a big offensive rebound. A rare one for Marian tonight. And now Wells from the wing connects. He has 10. Marian back up by 2 midway through the second.
And Eric Gaff yelling at his players, go, go, go. He wants the tempo to move forward.
Miss. Oh, Shrewsbury tried for a one-hand dunk and missed. Here's Place for 3. That's offline. Braylon White, the offensive rebound, gets it in. And Marian is just getting killed on the glass.
Absolutely. They need to utilize Horvath inside more to get some of those rebounds. St. Joe has done a nice job of pulling him out of the paint a little bit and being able to get the rebounds instead.
Horvath looks a little bit winded for the first time tonight, and you can understand why on the pace going in this gym right now. Prescott back outside to Terrence Lane. Pachulis guarding him. Wells over White. It's a 3 for Dre Wells, sponsored by J-Mill Packaging. Marian by 3. White at the other end has it rim out. And here comes Dre Wells. And Wells is fouled as he was shoved out of bounds by Ryder Place.
Oh, this game is unbelievable. Take a look at the replay brought to you by Springer Dental Care. The collision. Ryder Place looking like the punter trying to make sure that kickoff return is not returned for a touchdown, preventing that from happening.
And Avery will take Place's place after Ryder gets his second foul.
Crimmins Carpet Services is father and son owned and has been operating in South Bend for more than 35 years. Their team is dedicated to providing customers with quality cleaning and repair. Remember, it's not clean until it's Crimmins clean. Go St. Joe.
And we've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball on Elijah King, his second. So we talked about the foul trouble for Marian and Brandon Foster going out of the game, but that doesn't seem to hurt Marian nearly as much as what fouls to King and Place might.
Absolutely. You take into account that St. Joe is without Ethan Roseman for the rest of the year due to an injury, so they are now deep into their point guard position without the fact that Place is not in the game, and then King can also bring the ball up the floor.
King guarding Horvath right now. That leaves Unwin on Shrewsbury. Horvath from the baseline wouldn't go. Here's Shrewsbury the other way, and he got tripped from behind by McGuire.
Big C Lumber is the best choice for your next home improvement project. Family owned for over 100 years. They know the ins and outs of every home project you need completed, and their knowledgeable sales staff will help you get the job done. See the difference a culture of caring can make at Big C Lumber.
Miamba playing with two different color shoes for reasons unknown. Goes to the baseline. Here's King. Elijah pulls up. He can't get it to go. And the rebound comes to Marian. Wells with 13 here in the first half. 90 seconds to go before the intermission. Coming up at halftime, the Tom's Car Care Center halftime report, and we'll take you around the area with the McInnes Realty scoreboard.
Place is so good at making steals. That's one of his aspects as a point guard that he's good at. Not in the game right now, so they don't have that advantage.
Wells swung it with the left hand. It wouldn't go. Miamba for three. That won't go either. White had it knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to Marian.
Locally owned Central Automotive in downtown South Bend is your answer for oil changes, brakes, air conditioning repair, general maintenance, and more. Check them out at Lafayette and Colfax. Central Automotive, we're here for all your automotive needs, and there you see the replay on the Springer Dental Care replay, and they're going to change this call and say it's St. Joe ball.
Yep, the young official Sam Bruning came over, talked to Craig Hershey, and they say it's now St. Joe basketball with 57.6 seconds left here before halftime. Shrewsbury's been quiet this quarter, but not anymore. Nick with 17 in the first half, and it's a 1-point Marian lead. And we've got a whistle and a timeout called by Marian. We'll take it as well. It's sponsored by Fritz Dairy Queen. 45 seconds to go before intermission. 1-point Marian lead on Sports Michiana.
You don't always see the backbone of American products. You feel it. Ferret is where smart work meets hard work. We serve the USA by manufacturing purpose-built metal components that solve the problems others walk past. And we put in the work that makes 4th and Long feel like 1st and Goal. Calling all engineers and makers, past, present, and future. Your next career move begins at Ferret.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. You look at Eric Gaff over on the St. Joe bench. He and Rob Berger have something in common. They're what I call meatloaf coaches because 2 out of 3 ain't bad. They both win 2 out of 3 games in their career. Gaff 86 and 43, Berger 430 and 215.
They're also both Mark Johnson disciples, so that also helps. Coach Jay in the house sitting about a couple rows behind the St. Joe bench.
Trying not to hold that against them. You see the clock on the bottom of the TireRack.com scoreboard as the ball knocked into the lap of Bo Hundt, and somehow he's still alive.
Ferret Custom Roll Forming, the best choice in metal fabrication, provides ISO certified quality with unparalleled service and support at Ferret Custom Roll Forming. We form value. Learn more at ferretrollforming.com.
Marian shrugging off an early deficit. has come back to take the lead, and they'll have it barring disaster, and that was the near disaster there as King knocks it out of bounds.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is the financial institution of choice for Sports Michiana, plus hundreds of churches and schools. Utilize their unique Elevate tools to help raise funds and drive your mission. Go to NotreDameFCU.com/elevate to learn more.
Under 10 as Wells brings it across, working on Shrewsbury. Wells falls down, Horvath picks it up, can't hit. First half comes to an end here at Alumni Gym with Marian leading St. Joe by a count of 29-28. What a half of basketball. Let's go courtside with Bo Hundt. He's grabbing Rob Berger for a Patrick Sideline report.
Rob, you go into halftime up by 1. You guys got down big early in the first quarter, but it didn't really face your guys at all. They really came back, and they showed a lot of poise out there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, after a kind of a rough start, we played composed, got some pretty good looks, and we were able to knock them down.
What do you need to do the second half to keep that up?
I mean, they're too good of a team to not play hard the whole time, and they're going to go on runs. We've got to sustain some stuff, and we got to get good looks and get some stops.
Thanks, Rob. Back to you guys.
All right, folks, stick around. A lot to come on the Farrah Custom Oil Forming halftime report. We'll start you off with our Tom's Car Care Center highlights. Comes your way next on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
Why do our auto insurance rates keep going up? Oh.
Dramatic increases in parts, labor, and medical care are causing auto insurance rates to soar nationwide. Lilliard's Insurance can protect you from auto rate increases with our available rate lock feature. And because Lilliard's Insurance is a local business, you get better service and deal with actual people. Hi, I'm Matt Lilliard. Call or text us today to see if you qualify.
Shopping for tires used to really ruffle my feathers. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack made it easy to identify the right tires. No more searching high and low. I got the best deal. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose a mobile installer. They brought the tires to my neck of the woods and put them on, right here in my driveway.
You're all done.
Thank you. When it's time for new tires, trust the experts. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Let's be honest, shopping for window treatments can be a real pain in the glass. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, the options are endless. Avoid expensive mistakes and return shipping with online retailers. Call the local team at Quality Window Treatments. Their entirely local process makes choosing the right look for your space easy. They bring the showroom to you during your in-person consultation. And with hands-off local installation, you never make a measurement. Visit QualityWindowTreatment.com to book your free consultation and see your space in a whole new light.
Friends, this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. They're putting people over profits. It's halftime here at Alumni Gym. They're recognizing the senior cheerleaders on this senior night, but Marian has come with intentions of spoiling the party. 29-28 in favor of the Knights at the intermission. Come on inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. There's barely any room for us, worse yet you, but Chuck and Ange with you courtside. Your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, unbelievable. The tempo was incredible early on. It looked like St. Joe was going to blow them out, and the poise of Marian to stick with it in a hostile environment, that's a sign of a team that can make a big playoff run because they know how to handle adversity, and here they are up by 1.
St. Joe looked like they were going to run away and hide. We'll show you here on the Tom's Car Care Center highlights because Nick Shrewsbury came out firing from three-point range. He had a couple of threes in the first half and wound up with 17 points in the stanza. But then back come the Marian Knights. Ray Wells trying to lead the charge. He had 13 points in the half. Vic Prescott Horvath, a force on the inside, even though he only scored 4 points. At the other end, Braylon White gets the rebound basket here. St. Joe really hurt the Knights on the offensive glass, but Wells with a big three to give Marian the lead. and they're up by one at the intermission, 29-28. When we come back, we'll take you around the area with the McKinnis Realty Around the Area scoreboard. It's all next on the Ferret Custom Roll Forming Halftime Report here on Sports Michiana.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
Founded in 2001 by brothers Sam and Levi, Reliance has built a reputation for excellence, providing high-quality home building and renovation services to the Michiana area. From single-room renovations like kitchens and bathrooms to building your dream home from the ground up, everything benefits from their decades of experience. From concept to completion, Reliance makes even the largest projects simple and hassle-free. To find out more, visit RelianceDBR.net. Reliance. Design, build, renovate.
Now's the perfect time to lock in speed and savings from Surf Internet. Get fast fiber internet with free professional installation, starting at just $30 per month with AutoPay. Plus, lock in your low price for life with no contracts. Visit surfinternet.com today.
Now's the time to get fiber fast internet as low as $30 per month with AutoPay and free professional installation. Lock in speed and savings from Surf Internet. Enjoy fast fiber internet, no contracts, and a price lock for life. Visit surfinternet.com.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you in part by McKinnis Realty. It's realty with a purpose. Blake Wesley from the NBA's Portland Trailblazer working that lollipop as he sits in the house here at Alumni Gym. It's the NBA All-Star break, so the Portland Trailblazer standout coming back here to South Bend to catch this one, and we welcome you back inside the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union broadcast booth with the McKinnis Realty Around the Area scoreboard. A number of games underway already, a lot of them in the NLC, but here's an NIC score. Penn leads South Bend Washington at the half, 49-26. NLC Northridge, who we'll see next week, leads Concord 24-16 in the second. Northwood, they've gotten a lot better. They're beating Mishawaka right now, 14-0 in the second. And Wawasee, Nate O'Connell's getting the ball to Stephen Casey, and he is scoring tonight. They're up by Goshen 15-5 in the second. Up in Michigan, boys action, Portage Northern leads St. Joseph 23-22. On the girls' side, Lakeshore beat Kalamazoo Lloyd Norwich tonight, 46-37. And Dwajak leads Our Lady of the Lake at halftime, 37-8. Here at the half, Marian on top of St. Joe, 29-28. When we come back, we'll check in with Bo Hundt about what's going on in that St. Joe locker room and give you second half play-by-play from Alumni Gym on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
My name is Chuck. I'm a member of Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. The flexibility of having a HELOC made it simple to add items as we were going through the process of updating our house. So we didn't have to do everything at once. We could do it a little at a time as things changed, which made it flexible for us to use builders when they had downtime and get better prices for them. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Ready to be part of our winning team? The St. Joseph County Police Department is hiring, and we are looking for people of all ages who want to make a difference. With a starting salary of $52,000 plus full benefits, including medical, dental, vision, and vacation, you are in control of your future. So whether you're just entering the game or looking for a new position, now is the time to get off the sideline. Learn more today at sjcpd.org.
Why is Babsco the premier electrical distributor? Because they have breakers, boxes, switches, resets, clamps, tapes, relays, covers, timers, batteries, wires, labels, ballast, heat-shrink, fixtures, plugs, tubing, lamps, load centers, and conduit. You can do it with Babsco Supply. With 2 locations in Elkhart and Warsaw. Visit Babsco.com. Babsco Supply, where they have everything.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Patrick, empowering outdoor enthusiasts since 1959.
And since 1959, Patrick Industries in Elkhart has empowered outdoor enthusiasts, well, that's what Chuck just said, to achieve next-level recreation experiences. Patrick is a proud supporter of our local teams and athletes, empowering excellence on and off the court.
They sponsor our sideline reports, and Bo, I know you didn't talk with Eric Gaff at the half because St. Joe is just coming out of the locker room. But give me a sense of what you think he may have talked to them about at halftime.
Well, I'm sure I can't say everything that he probably said in that locker room. But when the first player walks out with only 30 seconds to go on that halftime clock, you know there was business in that locker room. I guarantee you, the main thing he talked about is picking up the intensity. Because out there, Marian is showing so much more intensity than what St. Joe is. They're showing more urgency, and St. Joe needs to come back with that urgency, with that intensity that they did on Tuesday night against Penn, guys.
Because I'll tell you, we have a little factoid entitled Long Time Coming, and it probably tells why there should be a little more intensity right now for St. Joe. They've never won an outright NIC boys basketball title, and they have a chance to do that if they can beat Marian tonight. Now, they only trail by 1 at halftime, and they were down to Penn at halftime on Tuesday night. And they come out, and Elijah King misses a dunk right off the bat.
Third quarter brought to you by our friends at Carlton in South Bend.
So 2 missed dunks for St. Joe tonight, and that's not helping the Huskies' cause either. Inside it goes to King, and he lays it up and in. So Elijah King gets his second basket of the game, and St. Joe is back in front, and we have a whistle and a foul, and I think it's going to go on Ryder Place, his third.
Looking to buy or sell a home, McKinnis Realty is where service comes first. Family and veteran-owned, they proudly serve our community heroes through the Homes for Heroes program, helping you save when you buy or sell. Learn more at McKinnisRealty.com.
And indeed, that is on Place, his third. And so right away, Braylon White's got to come in off the bench for St. Joe. Meanwhile, Brandon Foster, who missed a lot of the first half, starts the second half for Marian. Gray Wells finds Horvath underneath, and he's fouled right away by KJ Avery. And really, Avery had no choice there.
That's a cousin-on-cousin harm right there. 2 second cousins, our student athletes of the week, brought to you by Tony Letcher with Health Markets. You see the replay, brought to you by Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka. I think KJ was talking a little smack to his cousin.
Shocking. Here's Eric Unwin for 3. Buries it from the St. Joe logo. It's sponsored by J-Mill Packaging. Unwin with 13, just 3 off his career high. Marian back on top by 2. Here's Miamba working inside, and he is fouled by Foster. That'll be the third on Brandon. And Peyton Miamba will take free throws for the first time tonight.
At OSMC, you're not just treated, you're cared for, guided from diagnosis through recovery with clarity and trust. Get the care you need when you need it. Visit OSMC.com or their OrthoCare Walking Clinic in Granger off University Drive.
Miamba misses the first. He's a 68% foul shooter, working on a streak of 10 straight games of being in double figures coming into this one. 4 points now for Miamba tonight. St. Joe down 1. And again, full court pressure. Cross court, Horvath ahead to Lane, and Lane pulls up to Unwin for 2. Wow, the bank is open.
The passing on that possession, incredible for Marian.
Very similar to what I saw in practice on Wednesday when I went over to watch the Knights. And a turnover forced by Marian.
Peace of mind comes from deliberate preparation and planning. When it comes to estate planning, Peter Horvath Law can help with this peace of mind. If you need a will, trust, living will, or power of attorney, Peter is ready to support you in protecting your assets and passing them on to your family. Learn more at peterhorvathlaw.com. Go Knights.
Here's Gray Wells on the drive. Comes down the baseline, missed the shot, but got it back and put it in. Wells now with 15. And he and Unwin are carrying the day right now for Marian, who have their biggest lead of the game at 5.
What a comeback they've made, down 13-2 at the start of this game.
Shrewsbury buries a 3 from the logo. It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions, and he has 20 tonight. And a timeout sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. 5:46 to go in the third. You're watching high school basketball on Sports Michiana.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Big C Lumber, where the possibilities are endless. Micah Shrewsbury, the Notre Dame coach, in the house watching his son in this senior night game. 20 points for Nick so far tonight to lead St. Joe, but the home team trailing by 2 in this rivalry game. 94th meeting between these two parochial schools here in St. Joe County. Horvath down on the block, turns and scores. Prescott Horvath with 6. KJ Avery gets it to Peyton Miamba.
Terrence Lane made him earn that trip up the court.
Lane can be pesky as a defender. King goes by Foster for 2. Elijah had a big second half on Tuesday night against Penn. Let's see if that's in the cards here tonight. A steal by St. Joe. Shrewsbury wide open. Huskies lead. It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. 23 for Shrewsbury.
A couple players have slipped here tonight. That was one of the cases there as the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Marian basketball. Join the Knights for Music Bingo on Friday, March 20th. Bring your friends with great prizes and enjoy a fun night supporting Marian High School. Reserve your table today. You don't want to miss this event. Visit marianhs.org for more information.
A 1-point St. Joe lead. Foster's pass is tipped, but he gets it back. Unwin in the corner for 3. It's sponsored by J. Mill Packaging. That is a career-high 18 for Eric Unwin. Shrewsbury, he couldn't answer, and Horvath gets the rebound. And a foul by Braylon White.
What a sequence. Back and forth we go. Marian taking the lead on that three-pointer. As you take a look at the replay, brought to you by Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka, and the contact, no doubt about it, on that one. K2 Power Solutions provides cutting-edge industrial, commercial, and renewable electrical solutions. They also want to empower the next generation and make a positive impact on the Michiana community, especially through high school athletics. Go St. Joe.
Eric Unwin had a career-high 16 against Riley, has 18 here tonight, and he's open for 3 again. That one's short. Here comes Nick Shrewsbury the other way for St. Joe. Drops it off for Avery, and he's fouled from behind.
Nice drop-off there by Shrewsbury. Had an opportunity himself, but saw the open man, dished it off. As you take a look at the replay, brought to you by Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka. Nice drop-off. Good defense by Marian. Yes, it's a foul, but they don't give away the guaranteed points. And now KJ Avery going to the free throws. For free throws brought to you by Place Home.
74% foul shooter. His mom, former Mishawaka volleyball star. Now the coach at Valparaiso University.
Thank you to Tony Letcher for his incredible support of Sports Michiana. Tony is a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets. If you're looking for assistance with Medicare, family, or individual health insurance, Google Tony Letcher Health Markets or visit tletcher.com.
4 points now for Avery, knotted at 41. Glad you joined us for this one on Sports Michiana, and I think you are too. White drives in on Horvath. Shrewsbury with a dunk! At the other end, Terrence Lane, they all count the same. Shrewsbury misses that dunk. Horvath off to Lane. Lane working on King. Couldn't score. Miamba the rebound. A track meet is broken out at Alumni Gym. Avery for three. Yes, sir. It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions. 7 for KJ. St. Joe on top by 3.
Wow. What a sequence. Shrewsbury almost had 2 dunks in a span of 9 seconds while Marian scored in between them.
Unwin. Cross court. Lane with a good catch. He was the top receiver on the football team this year. You see the good hands there. Trey Wells will settle it down outside, and Rob Berger shouts directions from the Marian bench. Nice drive by Brandon Foster, but he threw it away, and Shrewsbury is feeling it over Terrence Lane. 27 for the ND commit. Timeout called by Marian. It's sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. 2:45 to go in the third. St. Joe by 5 on Sports Michiana.
Shopping for tires used to really rub me the wrong way. That was before I went to TireRack.com. TireRack's tire decision guide made it easy to find the right tires. Talk about secret sauce. You might ask, well, you bought them. Now how are you going to put them on? No problem. TireRack has thousands of recommended installers. I chose one that does mobile installation. A technician brought the tires right to my house. He's installing them now.
Almost finished, Herb. Take your time.
I'm just marinating. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by the Lilliard Insurance Agency. They're real people with real service and real value. So Marian took a Frick's Dairy Queen timeout. Bo Hundt, what has St. Joe done to find its spark here in the third?
Like, I think the biggest thing I just talked about at halftime when they were coming out was the intensity. I mean, you can just see they're more involved in the game. They're getting after it just a little bit faster, not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. Just really getting in everybody's face, trying to pick the pace up. And, of course, when Shrewsbury's got 27, one off of his career record of 28, then, I think they picked it up a little bit, guys.
Join the pack at St. Joseph High School. Our faith, character, and excellence are at the core of our mission to transform students in both heart and mind. Thanks to expansion of school choice, tuition is now more affordable than ever. Learn more at stjoehigh.com. Go Huskies.
Marian finds itself down by 5 as they come out of the timeout, but Unwin is ahead of the pack. Left it, tried to leave it off for Wells, but King intercepts the pass. And there's Shrewsbury again at the other end.
That's the second play in a row that St. Joe's allowed Marian to drive inside, but then the outlet pass is not available to him, and a steal comes for the Huskies.
Avery into the paint, needs some help. Here's Peyton Miamba. He'll come all the way in and draw the foul on Prescott Horvath, the first on the big fella, and it'll send Peyton Miamba back to the foul line.
The Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend Catholic School is aligning dedicated principals, teachers, and support staff to the mission of the church. This allows each child to experience not only a great academic and safe environment, but one that leads to the development of virtues and holiness.
Miamba, a transfer from Penn. They were in his kitchen on Tuesday night, the student body there. But he had a great game last Saturday in the win over Mount Carmel, scored 25 in that game. Struggling from the foul line here tonight. And Marian still only down by 6 with 2:10 to go here in the third. Jonah McGuire has not played a whole lot tonight, even though he was in the starting lineup.
Well, with the way Eric Unwin has been playing off the bench, you want him in the game a lot.
McGuire tried to put a move on Miamba. Here's Foster coming down the lane. Horvath, can he assert himself here? They isolate him one-on-one against Braylon White, and Horvath can't score. White bodied him up very well that time.
He had a good look, but it was not an easy shot.
King, not an easy shot either, and couldn't get it to go.
Horvath didn't get the rebound there, but he boxed out Miamba to allow Marian to get the rebound, and then the bucket and the foul for Trey Wells.
Wells now with 17, and he'll try to make it 18 as he goes to the foul line for a free throw sponsored by Marian High School. You get another look from Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka at the beautiful drive by the Niles transfer.
J-Mill Packaging in Mishawaka is always rooting for Marian. Founded in 1973, J-Mill Packaging is one of the nation's leading box and packaging manufacturers. If you need custom packages, visit boxpackaging.com.
Wells nestles that one home. He has 18. 3-point game. King whips it down to Braylon White. And Elijah will reset it. King in those bubblegum-colored pink shoes out to Braylon White, who misfires on the three. Wells soars for the rebound. He'll try to tie it. Short. Horvath, it's a one-point game. Prescott with 8.
5-0 run for Marian since Rob Berger called that timeout, brought to you by Fix Dairy Queen.
Miamba with a good look to Braylon White underneath, and White has 6. He had 16 in the win over Penn on Tuesday. Back to a 3-point game. Wells working against King. Couple of really good players in the league there, and Wells did the blow-by but couldn't finish. Now Shrewsbury comes the other way. Pull up 3, too strong. Gets his own rebound. Miamba for 3, ring it up. It's sponsored by K2 Power Solutions, 45% three-point shooter on the year, and he puts the lead back up to 6.
The way Nick Shrewsbury has elevated his game, one of the ways has been his rebounding.
Jonah McGuire with the layup at the other end for Marian. Can St. Joe beat the clock here at the end of 3? Miamba was fouled by Jonah McGuire with .9 on the clock.
But that is the third team foul against Marian, so it's a non-shooting foul here with .9 seconds remaining.
Here comes Connor Gallagher. He'll spell Miamba here. Chances are he's going to try to set a screen on Horvath, and they'll try to get a backdoor alley-oop with either King or Shrewsbury.
You don't want to give him a shot, but you also don't want to foul here.
Shrewsbury fades, fires, hits! Nick Shrewsbury putting on a show. He has 30. And St. Joe back up by 7 as we go to the 4th. One more look from Springer Dental Care on the Sports Michiana Game of the Week.
Looking to buy or sell a home in the Michiana area? Call McInnes Realty, Michiana's fastest growing real estate company where service comes first, built on knowledge, care, and community. Through our Homes for Heroes program, we proudly give back to those who serve. Firefighters, law enforcement, EMTs, military, teachers, and healthcare workers, past or present, qualify for hero rewards when they buy or sell with us. Call McInnes Realty today at 574-271-3440.
In need of an award? Call Crown Trophy of Mishawaka, the area's premier award provider. They've been serving the area since 2001 with cutting-edge exclusive products, personalized with state-of-the-art laser engraving technology. And Crown Trophy has more than just trophies. They offer corporate, sales, and retirement awards, along with personalized gifts and promotional products. Crown Trophy, nationally known, locally owned, where everyone's a winner.
This edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Babsco, your trusted electrical distributor. 4th quarter being brought to us by Christian Furniture. Those are the shoes of Peyton Miamba, and you may remember the first half, I said he's wearing 2 different colors for no apparent reason. Well, apparently Eric Gaff didn't take kindly to that, so a little switch was made at the half, and maybe it's all about the shoes for Peyton Miamba, Bohan.
Yeah, I think they made a lot of changes at halftime, including the shoes. I think that's one of the big things. I mean, he missed 3 or 4 three-pointers in the first half. He knocks down his first three-pointer here in the second half there in the 3rd quarter. What a 3rd quarter for the Huskies. I mean, they just came out. They showed so much more intensity. The biggest thing I'm going to look at here is there's Prescott going inside. How much the up and down is going to get to Prescott here late in the 4th quarter.
Hey, listen, he said, you guys saying it's all about the shoes. I'm telling you, it's all about the shrews so far here tonight with 30 points for Nick Shrewsbury.
St. Joe scored more points in the 3rd quarter than they did the first half. But here's a K2 Power Solutions 3 from Elijah King. And St. Joe has the lead back up to 8 at 60-52. They are just so explosive offensively. Same thing they did to Penn on Tuesday night. Horvath down low. Spins, shoots, and hits. Prescott now with 12 and starting to assert his presence down low.
Sports Michiana was created thanks to a great chat with our friends at Notre Dame Federal Credit Union while eating some great, delicious pizza at Rocco's. Let Rocco's hit the spot and inspire your next great idea. Rocco's Pizza, South Bend tradition since 1951. It doesn't matter what spot Nick Shrewsbury is out on the court. He makes it from anywhere, just like that right there on the Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka replay. This guy is on fire. 32 points, and now headed to the free throw line to try to make it 33.
Bucket and the bump for Shrewsbury, 77% foul shooter. He's improved a lot from last season, especially on the glass. A career night for him. I looked over at Rob Berger when that bucket was made by Shrewsbury, and he had just had a look of inevitability on his face, like, what do you do to stop this?
And I'm sure Rob Berger will critique this comment. I'm not sure Marian can play much better than they have here tonight. There are plays you would like to get back, but they're playing really good. It just shows you how good St. Joe is and how explosive they are.
Yes, and look, don't get down on Marian if they wind up losing this game. They're in an extremely winnable sectional this year. Remember, St. Joe moves up to 4A. It's really Marian and Culver Academy duking it out in that sectional. Here's Eric Unwin. Couldn't get that three to go. He was so hot early. The last couple have not dropped. Braylon White by Coastal missed the dunk, but of course Shrewsbury is there for the tip. And a timeout called by Rob Berger. It's sponsored by Frick's Dairy Queen. That's about the only thing sweet for Marian right now. 65-54 St. Joe on Sports Michiana. Friends, this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Tom's Car Care Center, the Coffee Spot Cafe, and the Waterworks Car Wash. 3 great services in one great place. They're a wee bit fired up here at Alumni Gym tonight.
Wow, look at this crowd for St. Joe. They had a spot for the St. Joe students that said the St. Joe student section. Then they had to move it, and then they had to move it again, and then they had to move it again. The students were almost in our seats.
And I had to move it back.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Christensen Furniture, a family-owned business since 1912, located on McKinley and Mishawaka. Customer service is their hallmark. They make sure you make the right choice by offering free design service at your home or in the store. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
I wasn't cranky, old man Chuck. I was kindly, gentle Chuck.
I
should
have
still told them that they needed to go back.
Oh, I liked it when you were moving the sign. That looked like a little old man a little bit. No offense.
Here's a three on the way from Foster that rims out, and the rebound to Shrewsbury. And this one starting to slip away from the Knights. Connor Gallagher at the other end couldn't get it to go. And the rebound knocked away and out of bounds. It'll go to St. Joe.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you need, Tire Rack makes it easy. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Gallagher, the football player, transfer. Connor came in from Lansing Catholic. And then Elijah King sprinting to the hoop. He has 11. His 17th game in double figures this year. Foster throws it away. Here comes King the other way. Serpentining over Unwin. Wouldn't go. Horvath the rebound. Foster coming right down the lane. Kicks it outside. Terrence Lane.
Lots of bodies on the ground.
And he throws it away. Place. He'll go the distance and draw contact and go to the line for two.
Well, Ryder Place is always the right man in the right spot to get a steal. Incredible work by number 24, and locally owned going back 4 generations, Place Homes in South Bend has a team of players, architects, and designers ready to work for you on building your dream home. Visit placehomes.net for more information. Place Homes, building homes, not houses. Go St. Joe. And out of that Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka replay, you've got your Place Homes free throws for Ryder Place.
Misses the first, 56% foul shooter on the year. He was the punter and kicker for the football team that made it all the way to the semi-state this season. Missed both free throws, though, and the rebound to Eric Unwin. Knights trail by 13, under 5 minutes left.
They have not scored in quite some time.
Nearly a steal that time by Place. And the defense for St. Joe really pushing Marian out of its comfort zone. Wells, Euro steps down the lane, couldn't score. King, the outlet to Braylon White, who traveled or stepped out of bounds. One or the other, it's going to be Marian ball.
You know what? I'm happy for him. That's all it was, because that had potential to be a hurt ankle. And a timeout on the floor brought to you by Crimmins Carpet Services. We'll keep it here with 4:30 to play in the fourth quarter. And St. Joe up by 13. It's February, and that means the Red Velvet Blizzard is back at Dairy Queen. Plus, get flame floor chicken strips, or you can get 2 cupcakes for $6. Well, I'm ready to go. How about you? Get yours tonight at Frick's Dairy Queen on South Michigan Street in South Bend.
What a doubleheader we have for you tomorrow on Sports Michiana. We'll go to Jimtown for the girls basketball regional there. We start you off at 4 p.m. with the 1A matchup between number 1 Michigan City Marquette and number 3 Fremont. And then at 7, it's the wearing of the green. Doug Springer's Northridge Raiders, fresh off that upset of number 4 Warsaw last week, takes on Valparaiso with their all-star Lily Barnes. It's only seen on the IHSA Champions Network, but you can join us by going to our website at sportsmichiana.com. Click on the red banner that says Watch Live.
Or just go to sportsmichiana.com/watch. We try to make it as easy as possible for all you fine folks. Sports Michiana's apparel is courtesy of our friends at It's Tops in Mishawaka. Clothes, office supplies, mugs. If you want to put your logo on something, odds are It's Tops can make it happen. Locally run since 1976, It's Tops gives you the personalized attention you deserve. Learn more at itstops.net.
One of the differences in this game, yes, Nick Shrewsbury having a career game with 35, but there's balance behind him with King, Avery, Miamba, and White, all between 6 and 11 points. There's basically 3 guys that have done the scoring for Marian: Unwin, Wells, and Horvath.
Marian needs a bucket bad if they want to try to claw back into this in any capacity.
Foster gives it off to Horvath. He kicks it outside to Unwin. They move it around. Terrence Lane into the lane. Can't hit the layup, but gets his own rebound. Smallest guy on the floor got the carry. Lob pass, Horvath wasn't ready for it.
Carlton has been in business in South Bend for more than 50 years and are the country's leading provider of financial calculation software. While they serve clients throughout the country, Carlton believes in giving back here at home, including supporting St. Joe, where 3 generations of Ruskowskis have graduated. Go Huskies.
Here's Nick Shrewsbury coming down the lane, and a little too strong that time, and the rebound to Unwin. Marian trailing by 13, but the clock becoming a factor with 3:21 to go.
Well, and not making any baskets also becoming a factor.
Lob down to Horvath, and he'll put it in. He has 14, and really, for the last 7 minutes, he's been pretty much the only offense for Marian. Elijah King steps into a 3. That's too strong, but there's Braylon White with an offensive rebound. And Eric Gaff wants to pull it back outside.
Marian has the biggest man on the floor in Horvath, but the next 5 biggest guys are all from St. Joe. And there's a 3-pointer for Braylon White, brought to you by K2 Power Solutions. Suddenly, St. Joe up by 14.
And White tried for the steal, but gets called for the foul. You know, Braylon White is a rather unheralded 3-point shooter. He came into the game shooting 39% from beyond the arc.
He's been the 6th man / sometime starter on this team since he was a freshman. He has played that role very well for St. Joe. At Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka, your smile and comfort comes first. From routine cleanings to advanced dental care, you'll find compassionate dentistry in a modern, welcoming office. Now welcoming new patients. Visit Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka, where your smile plays at a higher level.
14-point lead now for St. Joe. Horvath trying to set a screen for Wells. Wells working against Elijah King, and a bump is called.
Crimmins Carpet Surfaces has been serving Michiana for more than 35 years. Joe Crimmins and his sisters Samantha and Danielle are proud St. Joe alums. They clean for St. Joe and can for your school or business too. Remember, it's not clean until it's Crimmins clean.
King and Wells really jawing at each other, and King just keeps pointing at the scoreboard, and now Eric Gaff is going to call a timeout that's sponsored by Crimmins Carpet Services. We'll keep it right here.
Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic in Granger is a family-focused practice that treats newborns to professional athletes and everyone in between. They offer high-level chiropractic care, digital x-ray diagnostics, and non-surgical spinal decompression. Google Williams Family Chiropractic Clinic to learn more.
When you take a look at this St. Joe team, when you're playing them, you have to remember the speed limit is 65 because the Huskies are 14-0 this season when they hold opponents to 65 or less, and they have Marian right around that range here tonight.
And a reminder, St. Joe clinches the NIC championship with a win here tonight. They have one more game against New Prairie. They want to leave no doubt, of course. They want to finish 7-0, not have any asterisks that maybe they finish 6-1 and tie for somebody else. But either way, because of the tiebreakers they own over Riley or Penn, they finish this game out in the next 2:15. They will be the NIC champions for the first time since 2008 and the outright champions for the first time ever.
Braylon White called for the foul on Prescott Horvath, and things are starting to get a little chippy here at Alumni Gym.
For more than 6 decades, Marian High School has been a leader in academics, athletics, service, and faith. Experience our tradition of excellence yourself. It's a great time to be a Knight. Visit marianhs.org to learn more.
Prescott Horvath taking free throws sponsored by Marian High School is an 80% free throw shooter. As Anj mentioned, committed to be a preferred walk-on for Kurt Signetti next year at Indiana on the football field.
I think he has a lot of untapped potential. This is a young man who really grew into his body in the last year and a half, and I think he's got a lot of growth that he can still make.
Wider place, thought about pulling the trigger on a three. Instead, St. Joe knows that they can work some clock here if they want to, although that's not necessarily their nature. Elijah King on the drive and had it knocked away by Dre Wells.
Nick Shrewsbury, 35 points here tonight. No question he's going to be our Reliance player of the game. But it was his three-pointer to close out the third quarter that really kind of changed the entire momentum of this game. They put him up by 7.
Yeah, it looked like St. Joe was only going to have a 4-point lead going to the fourth, and Marian was going to very much be in it. Instead, he hits that three, and Marian really hasn't recovered since.
No, and then St. Joe scored the first couple buckets of the fourth, and it's been all Huskies since.
King working on Wells, score. 13 now for Elijah.
And it's why that three-pointer at the end of the third will be our Big C Lumber big play of the game. Although there's about 5 plays from Shrewsbury that easily could have been.
A lot of electric plays in this game. The pace of the first half of this game was incredible. And it continued into the third quarter. If anything, I think St. Joe, as Bo mentioned, kind of ramped up the pace in the third quarter.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka.
Braylon White fouls out on his senior night here at St. Joe. 9 points for Braylon tonight. And he gets a nice hug from Eric Gaff going out.
Yeah,
Eric Gaff had a sport coat on for the senior night activities. Shunned that in the locker room during pregame warm-ups. Here's Horvath underneath, scoring over Nick Shrewsbury. Prescott with 17 tonight. KJ Avery driving in, and he's fouled. Good sportsmanship here by Marian, helping KJ up, and of course his cousin Prescott, one of the first to get over.
Here's the replay brought to you by Springer Dental Care of Mishawaka. As Chuck mentioned, KJ, a transfer from Valpo. His mom, the soccer coach there. His dad used to be his mom, the volleyball coach, excuse me. His dad used to be the soccer coach. Now, dad coaching out in Fort Wayne, so the family has had to spread themselves out a little bit. So KJ is actually kind of smack in the middle here for both parents. And both of them here tonight to see KJ play his senior night for St. Joe.
Remarkable story, adopted from Africa at the age of 4 and hits both free throws there. He has 9 points here tonight.
1 minute remains.
Look at Dre Wells just accelerate down the lane and score, and Rob Berger will take a timeout. It's sponsored by Frick's Dairy Queen. Why don't we take one as well? 30-second break here on Sports Michiana.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Your car carries precious cargo. It needs to be dependable, rain or shine. Let Tom's Car Care Center in South Bend help take the stress out of your car's maintenance. We'll change your oil in 10 minutes, flush your transmission, replace your wiper blades, and much more. Oil changes include a half-price car wash when needed. Welcome to your extended family, Tom's Car Care Center.
And this edition of the Sports Michiana Game of the Week being brought to you by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. Chuck Freeby, Angelo, Carlo, Hundt back with you at Alumni Gym. 55 seconds remain in this one. And the St. Joe Huskies appear ready to go 6-0 in the NIC, 16-4 overall. Picking up a win over their arch rival, Marian Knights. A lob for Shrewsbury to put the exclamation point on a 37-point night.
Mitch Shrewsbury said, wait, are you guys sure you want to be done with the Big C Lumber big play of the game?
And now KJ Avery joins the party.
He got lift on that one.
And this final score will not be indicative of what this game was like for the first 3 quarters.
No, by any means.
4-point game with .9 left in the third has erupted into a 17-point victory here for St. Joe, and it could go more or less. We'll find out here in the last 22 seconds. Lane was bodied up by Elijah King, and Terrence will go to the line for free throw sponsored by Marian High School.
I think Eric Gapp's going to make sure he takes his seniors out now so that they don't try to score anymore. Which you can understand on senior night.
Absolutely.
Holy War. You want to get one more slam dunk in on your arch rival. I can understand that.
Terrence Lane, pre-sport athlete at Marian, football, basketball, and track, hits the free throw, and now the wholesale substitution by Eric Gaff as the senior class gets to take a bow.
By the way, Chuck, during the break you said, I wonder if they're going to rush the court. I'm feeling, based on what's happening to my right, it is happening. But we shall see, because St. Joe is on the verge of not only a Holy War win, but clinching the NIC championship.
Free throw missed. Horvath fadeaway jumper is good, and Prescott's going to wind up with 19 in this one. Final 10 seconds on the TireRack.com scoreboard. Terrence Lane called for a ticky-tack there as he fouled Gus Pachulis. And Rob Berger asking, what are you doing?
Terrence Lane, team's fourth.
And he just majestically said, don't foul, like a conductor of an orchestra. Dominic Logan will dribble, have it taken away by Dre Wells, who lays it up and in. And the final score, 78-66, and they'll rush the court at Alumni Gym. The St. Joe student body helping their basketball team, ranked number 12 in Class 4A and number 15 overall by the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association, celebrate a win over the arch-rival Marian Knights. The final score at Alumni Gym, St. Joe 78, Marian 66. Hopefully order restored here very soon as the two teams shake hands in front of the scorers table, and we will line up Bo Hundt for our player of the game interview. He has tracked down Nick Shrewsbury, our Reliance player of the game, with 37 points.
Standing by with Nick. Nick, 37 points tonight. Your career record, 37. Just how big of a game was this for you guys?
It was a huge game. We only one more win and we're NIC champs. It was a rivalry game tonight, and it was senior night, so we had to hoop.
Yeah. What was the difference between the first half and the second half?
We just came out with energy. We knew we had to win this game, so we came out and fought.
New team from last year, a lot of new faces here. What has brought you guys together?
Man, we all love each other. We're so connected on and off the court. It helps. It really helps us on the court.
What's going to make that run back down to state?
Oh man, just stay together. Keep fighting. Keep fighting.
Hey, congratulations. You guys are at least NIC champs. A share of it, another win. You guys are the first time ever that St. Joe's going to win the NIC outright.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. Back to you.
Nick Shrewsbury is like, thank you for that information. I wasn't aware of that stat. And that is right. They are the NIC champions now because of the tiebreaker rules in the NIC. Even if they were to lose to New Prairie, which is highly unlikely, but if they were to lose, they would finish in a tie with either Penn or Riley, and they beat them head-to-head. And the new rules in the NIC put in the last few years would say St. Joe wins the championship based on the fact that they won the regular season meeting between either of those two teams.
And not to downplay any of that, but when we get to the first week of March, nobody will remember who won a conference title. They will only care about who wins a sectional title, and St. Joe is in a very difficult sectional. Yes, they have beaten the teams they have played from that sectional. They've beaten Riley and Penn and Adams. Here's the thing. You got to beat them again if you're going to win the sectional. That won't be an easy path for this team. But if they play like they did in the second half tonight, it's going to be really tough to beat them because Nick Shrewsbury was making plays, including our Big C Lumber play of the game. It came your way at the end of the third quarter, 0.9 on the clock. Shrewsbury with the fisherman shot, a catch and release, and he buries the three, and that took a 4-point lead up to 7 and allowed St. Joe to really grab momentum in this game.
No question about it, and like you said, only 0.9 seconds left, and Shrewsbury, who's on fire, he had, 3 dunks here tonight, but he was able to get the outside shot, and we talked about it a lot during the game, his ability to get rebounds and give himself and his teammates second chance opportunities. St. Joe won the rebounding battle here tonight, which is very impressive against a Marian squad that has a 6'8" big man like Prescott Horvath. But St. Joe has a lot of length across the board, a lot of talent. Yes, it's going to be very difficult in their sectional, but if they get out of that, hey, it's going to be very difficult after that because they're playing in Class 4A. Here's the biggest thing. What's the draw? Because you could play a really hard draw in that sectional and get 3 really tough teams.
We will find that out on February 22nd, but I'll tell you one thing. Even though the Marian Knights are 11-7, even though they've lost 3 of their last 4, look who they've lost to. Riley, Penn, and St. Joe, and none of those teams are in their sectional. Culver Academy is the other good team in that sectional, and there's 4 teams that are having down seasons. Don't be surprised the way Rob Berger's team has improved from the beginning of the season to now. If they keep improving, they could be a force in the 3A tournament.
I think they absolutely can be. If that team that played from the first quarter, maybe the starting with 3 minutes into the first quarter into most of the third quarter, that team can make a deep playoff run, no question about it, in Class 3A.
Speaking of deep playoff runs, we'll see who keeps going on the girls' tournament trail tomorrow on Sports Michiana. So we've got to let our crack crew break it down here at Alumni Gym. Our thanks to the G-Man, Gary Martin, for leading the way from the truck. He had help in there with Tony Beltran. Duran Gray was in there. Matt Florian just kind of keeping an eye on things. And then out here working the cameras tonight, we had Matt Kowalski, Chris Skibby, Michael Weens, Matt Nemeth, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. all working tonight. So a great crew on hand. We've got doubleheader action for you tomorrow from Jimtown High School. It's the regional round for the girls at 4 o'clock in 1A. Michigan City Marquette takes on Fremont #1 Blazers against the third-ranked Eagles. Then at 7, Doug Springer and the Northridge Raiders take on the Indiana All-Star Lily Barnes and Valparaiso in the 4A regional. Only on IHSA TV. Go to sportsmichiana.com/watch to see all the action. For my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hundt and Angelo Carlo, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, St. Joe 78, Marian 66. So long from South Bend. Thank you for watching the Sports Michiana High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Tony Letcher Health Markets, Tire Rack, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Big C Lumber, Barrett Custom Roll Forming, McInnes Realty, Patrick, Reliance, the Lulliard Insurance Agency, the St. Joseph County Police Department, Fabsco, Tom's Car Care Center, and these great sponsors. Support us by supporting them.